Do you want to buy a game digitally or physically? That's a hard question to answer because they both have pros and cons as to why you could and should buy one over the other. This problem hasn't been around all that long, though. Digital games really started making headway as a viable form of purchasing games during the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 generation. So we've only been living in a digital eras for consoles for about 15 to 20 years at this point. To make the discussion almost moot, if the rumors are to be believed, some of the next systems will only support digital games. But that doesn't impact the here and now. And the question still remains, what way should I buy my games? Can I hold on to physical games? Or should I go the way the market is moving and purchase them digitally? Let's face it, digital games are extremely convenient. You can pre-purchase them, pre-download them then, and then play right away as they launch, to the minute. Digital purchasing is the way that most PC games have been distributed for decades at this point, with services like Valve's Steam. As long as you have a large enough hard drive, you can have all of your games ready to play right away. On the other hand, having a physical copy of the game allows you to actually own the game and to do with it whatever you want on your system or on another. As long as you don't lose them, you won't have to re-download a physical game if you want to play again after a long time, though this is really only a cartridge-based system perk. You can also more easily sell your games if you are in a financial pinch or if you just need to get rid of some clutter. When looking at the physical or digital question, it really is more of a question focused on Nintendo consoles than any other platform, in my opinion, as they are often cartridge-based systems. When you use a physical cartridge, you don't have to do much of anything with Nintendo games when you first start playing them, which makes jumping into a new game much easier and quicker, as you don't have to download anything major to your hard drive before you play as the games are still mostly played straight from a cartridge instead of from that hard drive. With games on the cartridge-based systems, having the physical games allows family members to more easily play and share a single copy of the game without having to buy more, though that is always an option, or worry about signing in online each day to have the license to play the game if the particular console is not the main console of the purchasing account. Also, consoles like the Switch are likely going to be the only console that there are multiple copies of in any given household to share a game back and forth between systems and people. Unless you are lending a game to a friend who lives in a different house. Hopefully you get your game back safe and sound then. Looking at some of the negatives for both options, physical games will break down after a while. They can get wrecked, broken, and ruined. They can be lost or stolen. Physical games have any problem that anything material will have. They will take up space in your room. Eventually, all games are going to be not sold in a store. So there's a limited time to purchase them. Though granted, that time limit might very well be the life of the system and a little while afterwards as they get rid of product. But many times you can purchase games for an older system many years after the end of that life cycle for either an extreme price physically, or you can just purchase them normally for the console in a digital format. But there are some problems with digital games too. Digital games are not really yours to own. You have essentially purchased a right or license to play the game that the developer they can take away at any time that they want. We've seen different companies do so with different media, like movies and TV. And we've even seen that companies can lock people's ability to play games unless you were able to put your system into an offline mode before that happened. There can also be only a certain amount of digital games downloaded to any system at a given time, which limits the ease of access that many games are available at your convenience. Downloading the games themselves is something to take into consideration too, as your internet speed and access determines how and when you can play the game. Games can also be taken away from the online shop, and these stores can close down, like the eShop for the DS, 3DS, and the Nintendo Wii. There will also come a time when you may not be able to download the game anymore that you purchased, as the server was shut down. You see, both forms of purchasing games are valid and good, and they both have their downsides. In the end, it is up to you which direction you want to take. Nothing lasts forever. It is not an easy choice, but it also isn't as big of a deal as everyone seems to make it. Life happens, and each set of issues could easily happen to you. If you are into preservation, physical games are likely the way to go. If you don't have a lot of extra space, you might want to purchase them digitally. I hope this video helped you be more comfortable with your decision, one way or another, or just buying both ways. Please hit that subscribe button to see more video game content like this and other videos focused on gaming resources for individuals and families.